We just purchased this house for $88,000 and we're relocating it here to live in. For a very long time now, we have had a big problem. Our homestead doesn't have a home. It's just a stead. This year that is changing and we're finally getting a home. Our budget is very, very tight. Some might say impossible, but we're giving it a crack. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the house that we got for $88,000 and what that includes, what else we have to pay for, how long it's all going to take, our budget breakdown, and our exact game plan, even if it fails. Welcome back to Homestead on the Rock. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my office. Tonight is going to be a very serious video. Let's go. So last year we moved here to the country to start building our homestead. We had house plans, everything ready to go, and we were going to be building a house from scratch until we realized we did not have the money all the time. So we threw that plan out the window. This year we had a genius new plan. Buy a house that was already built instead, and then just relocate that to our block. Sounds simple enough. Well, we ended 2025 by doing exactly that. We purchased this house for $88,000 that was ready to move.
All right, we're 10 minutes away from checking out our possible future home. How are you feeling, Ty?
I'm excited. I'm very excited. If the house is good, then that means that we sort of have to make a massive decision. This possibly is going to be our house. So it's almost like, if there's a major problem with it, then we know we don't have to get it, and it's okay, we can relax.
But if there's nothing wrong...
If there's nothing wrong, it's like, oh boy, here we go.
Is that?
That's it straight in front.
Oh!
That's alright. No. That's
Sure?
it. That's it.
That's you?
Yeah, I reckon that's it straight in front of us.
Oh,
Yeah, that's him. That's
goodness.
Chris. You must be Chris.
Oh, I love it, mate. You put it actually together, you've got that, you know you've cut 3 mil one for sunroom.
Yeah, and that makes it so much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
So at the back you did
There, or is that what he's looking at right now? Is that?
Well, I just discovered this room, but I really like it. You can't see much, it's a bit dark. But this is like a mud room. Not really a mud room, but it's like hang up all your coats and lots of storage. That is good. And you can just tuck it away. I like it. Laundry, toilet. That microwave will definitely be going. I actually don't mind these peachy coloured cupboards, but those tiles, they have to go. I'm not really about them. I'm not really about this floor. But we have been told there are some floorboards underneath. I don't know if we can keep them, but they look pretty good to me. Wow, it's big.
So here's how it all works. The house is going to be built under a 2-stage permit. Most of the expenses for stage 1 are included in that $88,000. There is still a bit more money needed to complete it, but I'll talk about that very soon. Basically what the $88,000 includes is the purchasing of that house, them chopping it up, putting it on a truck, bringing it over here, putting foundations in the ground, bringing the house, putting it on top of those foundations, reattaching it all properly and reconnecting or reconstructing the house to a legal and correct standard. Once that house has been put back together properly and it's here on my property, the surveyor will come and inspect, look at it all. And if it's been done professionally and correct, then and only then will the surveyor sign it off. And then stage 1 of the build is complete. After that, my $88,000 with the relocation company is basically done, and that's the end of my contract with them. Now, stage 2 of the building permit falls a lot more on me as the owner builder to complete the rest of the house and bring it up to a standard for someone to actually live in. There is still a lot to do: electrical, plumbing, insulation, cosmetic stuff inside and out, bathrooms, kitchens, decks, landings, external cladding, parts of the house where they chopped and then put back together. I have to fix it, patch it, make it all look proper, and other things like the water and septic tanks. After all of that is complete and the house is 100% ready, the building surveyor will come back to inspect all the work that I have overseen and make sure that it's built to standard. If we have done a good job, the surveyor will sign off the house, we will get a certificate of occupancy and we can move on in. That may sound like a lot of work, and well, it is, but relocating a house and doing the finishing part is a whole lot less work than building a whole house from the ground up. Money is obviously a very big factor and a reason why we're doing this, but one of the key benefits of this whole process is that hopefully, if things go right, it's actually going to save us time. So here is the plan and the breakdown month by month and the steps that we have to take to get this done. February, get the drawings and the plans done for the house. In March, with the new drawings, I can reapply for an owner builder certificate and we can engineer the footing design for the house. By April, hopefully we have everything organized so we can actually apply for a building permit. And in May, we get the building permit and the house relocators are ready to go. They come in here, put the footings and drop the house on by the end of May. Will the next 4 months go to plan? Probably not. Nothing in life ever really goes that fast, especially things that you're doing for the first time. But that's the layout of what needs to be achieved over the next 4 months, and I'm going to aim for it and hopefully we can get it done. That's just a rough outline, and if we can achieve that by mid this year, we will have completed stage 1 of the build. After that, we can begin stage 2 of the build, but that is where money becomes a bit more of a problem. Actually, as I just said those words, money becomes a problem, I kind of regret it because I do feel super blessed to be here already on my homestead, and I'm super blessed to have enough money to even attempt this project. So I don't want to complain. I never want to grumble and complain. Everything that is going on for me and my family right now, the opportunities we have is a massive blessing. It's not so much a problem as is something that I need to complain about. It's just a challenge. It's just another step that we have to figure out. And money is a challenge for everyone, regardless of how much you have. People with millions of dollars complain they don't have enough money, and people with no money complain they don't have enough money. In my personal experience in life, doesn't matter where I look, money is never a direct correlation to happiness or gratitude. So I don't want to make it sound like money is a problem in a negative sense, all right? You know what I'm trying to say, all right? It's not all about money. This is just where I'm at. But for this chapter right now, we are going to talk about money. So let's get into it. As I said before, a lot of the expenses for stage 1 are in that $88,000. The $88,000 covers the house, the relocation, the stumping, the putting back together, and making sure that it's built up to a standard that a surveyor will come and sign it off and say, it's past lockup, this has all been done properly. $88,000 covers all that, but there's still a lot of other expenses to get to that point, even within stage 1. Now, I'm not going to run through the details of every single one, but here's a list of a lot of the other expenses that are involved, things that you have to get or go through to actually get a building permit and get that house relocating onto the property. Some of these numbers here I've actually already paid for, so I know exactly how much they cost, but other things I've just guesstimated to help us create a budget and know how much it's going to cost to complete stage 1. Now, I just want to quickly talk about that bond because it's something I'm still learning. I have been told, and I'm under the impression that when you relocate a house, you have to pay the VBA, or I think it's the council via the VBA or something like that. You have to pay a bond of anywhere up to $10,000. You will get that $10,000 back at the completion of your build, but they will hold that $10,000 bond until you get your certificate of occupancy and you finish the house. So I'm not going to include the $10,000 bond in all of these numbers because ultimately I'll get that $10,000 back at the end. However, it is still an expense that we have to find money for during the build. So if you combine all of these expenses with the $88,000 for the house, just to get the house here with a building permit and put back together, stage 1 complete and signed off of the build, it is a total of $117,800. Now, if you minus off the bond, it'll just be $107,000 because you will get the bond back. But just so you know, it was $117,000, but we're just going to talk about $107,800. Now, stage 2 is where me as the owner builder really comes into play a lot more, and I've got to complete this whole list of jobs. They all need to be done, and I need to get contractors, people with licenses to come in and complete a few of them as well. All of them are going to come in at various expenses as well. Some of these things, again, I've already paid for, but most of these are going to have to be paid for and done after stage 1 is complete. For the record, I do not have direct quotes for how much this is going to cost. And for example, renovating the bathroom might only cost $100, but it actually might end up costing a couple thousand. It's hard to say for sure. I'm hopeful that renovating the kitchen and the bathroom in the house doesn't cost much. I mean, the whole reason we bought that house is because it's already done. We don't want an excessive amount of work. But things like the plumbing and the electrical is still going to cost money. So I've guesstimated a lot of these numbers and tried to be fair with it. And that brought a rough total of $30,246. Again, this could vary a lot and it could be a whole lot more, but I'm hopeful to actually make it a lot less. But we'll just have to see how we go with that. Now, unfortunately, there is still one very, very big expense that I haven't really mentioned yet. The septic. Ugh. So, the septic is going to cost $20,000. So you can just whack that $20,000, boom, onto the 30, and now you've got $50,000 needed to finish the house. Ooh, it's starting to hurt, it's starting to add up. Starting to feel, how many views on YouTube do I need to get to make $50,000? That is 5 million views. Whatever it is, it's gonna be a lot. So anyway, we'll get back to that. I'm getting sidetracked. So the total cost of stage 1 to completion is $117,000, plus on the $30,000 to finish the house for stage 2 and the $20,000 for the septic tank. We are looking at $158,046, and that is still without the bond. So let's just say we need a clean $160,000. That's if everything goes kind of to this plan, to complete the house. You're not supposed to show people when you change a transition because it takes the magic out of filming, but it's a special day. And sometimes, even though it takes the magic out of the film and it's like, oh, that's weird now that you interrupted the smooth transitions, sometimes I like to just do things that remind you that I'm actually a real person and this isn't a fake show. This is actually a real life. This is a real family with a real opportunity, but of real problems, and we're trying to figure it out. And everything you're watching, look, I'm just a guy in the middle of my property by myself talking to a camera, trying to work through these challenges. It's not a show. It's a real life. Some of you will remember that our old house plans and the budget for that, we couldn't get the price under $200,000, which was just way too much money for us and we couldn't afford it. This option of relocating a house at a minimum, I'm thinking it's going to be minimum saving us $40,000, but that's not even the biggest saving. The biggest saving is that I don't even have to pick up a tool until the house is here, put back together on the stumps, and the surveyor signs it off and says it is good to go and stage 1 is complete. That is when I actually start building. So that has saved me and my family minimum a year's worth. Why am I saying minimum like that so aggressively? Sorry, I'll calm down. It has saved us minimum 1 year's worth of labor, 1 year's worth of me working, stressing, figuring out how to build a house from scratch. Guys, for the record, I actually don't know how to build a house from scratch. I would have had to learn that process. So it's not just the time you're standing there, putting nails in the wall. There's a lot of learning that goes into actually educating yourself and building a house correctly. So it saves me a lot of time, but also a lot of stress building that house. And I'm really grateful that we save a lot of that time with a relocated house and we save $40,000. Anyway, I was carrying on a little bit there, but the point is, I still think this is actually the best option for us, but unfortunately, we still don't have that money. If you've been watching this channel for like 2 years and you've been waiting for us to build a house, it's almost 2 years, not quite yet, but I'm so sorry it's taken so long. But let me tell you, it is hard to save up thousands of dollars at the moment, all right? It hasn't been easy. The point is, we still don't have $160,000 cash in the bank ready to go, so we're gonna have to take a slightly different approach, but we're still building. We have just enough money saved up in the bank to buy the house, get the permits, bring it here, put the foundations in, rebuild the house, and get stage 1 complete of this build. Once that gets done, we are going to be very close to broke and praying every day that our car does not break down, if it hasn't already. It's not looking good. Anywho, as we said before, stage 2 is still going to require $20,000 for the septic and at least $30,000 probably to get the house up to scratch, ready to move in. And we simply do not have the money for stage 2. That's the simplest way to put it. Now, last time I did a video about this, I had a lot of people say to me, you should just get a loan. You should just loan the money. So I'm going to talk about that just a little bit for you guys. And you're following this family's journey, so it's worth mentioning. I just like to be honest with you guys. I know like it's weird to share your finances online and tell people what you're doing and how things are going. And it's not always recommended. It's not always a good way to live your life, letting everyone know your deepest, darkest secrets and your financial status. But the reality is we put it all on the table here. We'd rather just be honest with you. It's easier for us. I find it easier just being an honest person. I haven't really got anything to hide. I'm an open book. Anyway, that was so lame. I'm an open book, and I just hope that our story can encourage you, and I'd rather tell you the truth than pretend like something's happening that's not. We would need to borrow probably $50,000, and that would help us cover the bond and all the rest of the expenses that are involved in building this house. But we have always dreamt of building this house debt-free. It's been in our heads, in our mind, in our plans, in our heart for so long. We just wanted to be debt-free, and so we really haven't wanted to borrow that $50,000. We have actually had a family member offer us the option of a loan. And now there are some pros and some cons with that. We're also very aware that borrowing the money is probably a much smarter financial decision, wherein that we could borrow the money, use that to finish the house, and then we could move out of the rental, and the same money that we were paying rent, we could just pay that money off our loan. However, we have always aimed to not borrow money and just to work hard and try to make it work, and we really have wanted to be debt-free this whole project. We have accepted that this house and this project is not going to be finished in the next 6 months with the money that we have right now. But we still believe that this option is a great option for our family, and it gets us a whole lot closer to where we want to be. Now, assuming everything goes to plan, there is 3 ways that this is going to play out. Actually, 4. There's 4 ways this could play out. 1, we somehow find a way to save $50,000 in the next year, and then we have enough money to finish building the house and we move on in 2026. Beautiful. The second way that this whole thing plays out is that we just build bit by bit. After stage 1's complete, we save up the money to get the septic tank put in. After we get the septic tank put in, we save up the money for the electrician. Then we save up the money for the plumber. Then we've fixed the floors and done the kitchen and done that. We just tinker, and over a couple years' time, we slowly build our house and then we move in. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's an option, but I mean, obviously we don't really want to do that. It's gonna take a long time. But it's an option, and that's one of the ways it could play out. 3, which I know most people are going to tell us to do, is we borrow the money. And then, of course, with the money, we finish the house as soon as we can this year. We move on in and we just use the money we're paying rent to pay off the house, yada, 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 yada. You get the plan. Borrowing the money is still an option. But you know, there is still a 4th way this pans out, and that is that, what's that verse? I've forgotten it. I don't even know where it is in the Bible, so I can't find it. But a man's heart plans his course, but Yahweh directs his steps. I can do as much as I want to plan what's going to happen over the next year or 2, but at the end of the day, I don't know. But there is someone who does, the big man, Yahweh, and he is the Almighty God, and he is the creator, and he has a plan for us. And so I'm just going to do my best to walk this way, and hopefully I pray that he walks with me, and option number 4 might be his plan that I haven't even mentioned. And you know what? I pray that it's that option. I hope that I'm walking in his will, and that whatever it is that he has in store, we walk into it and we get to enjoy his plan for our life. And if none of this goes to plan, I will still rejoice, because I feel so blessed to be here on my homestead with chickens and tomatoes and a family. Even though we're renting, we can still walk down here and enjoy the land. We're slowly working on our goals and working on our dreams. There's nothing physical in this life, like a house or a better car or more money, that's going to bring ultimate enjoyment. We just know that a good way that we want to live, and we find enjoyment in walking that way. And we're still building a homestead. We're still doing our best to live a good, healthy life, and I'm so blessed to be in the position that I am to even have these options. We do everything without grumbling and complaining around here, because we feel very blessed to live this life. What do you guys think? Do you reckon we can actually build a house here for $150,000? How much do you think it's gonna cost? And do you reckon I should just get a loan? And do you reckon that we're gonna be here living on the homestead in 2026? Boy, I hope so. That would be good. Either way, whatever you do, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you find out what happens next here on Homestead on the Rock.